Your Aunt Emma can barely afford groceries, let alone Whitfield Academy's tuition. My nephew Marcus announced at the family barbecue, loud enough for everyone to hear. My parents are already looking at real schools for me, places where people like her kids don't even bother applying. The text illuminating my phone wasn't about groceries. It was from Dr. Richard Whitfield himself, confirming agenda items for tomorrow's board meeting where I'd been chair for the past 3 years. The 4th of July gathering at my brother Stephen's Connecticut estate had all the hallmarks of our family dynamics. Expensive cars in the driveway, catered food on the lawn, and casual cruelty served alongside the potato salad. I sat at the picnic table with my 2 kids, Lucy and Ben, listening to Marcus explain why they'd never amount to his level of future success. Private school opens doors, the 14-year-old continued, parroting his parents perfectly. Whitfield Academy has sent kids to every ivy for the past century. Meanwhile, Lucy and Ben go to, he wrinkled his nose, public school. Jefferson Elementary is an excellent school, I said mildly, helping Ben with his hot dog. For poor people, Marcus clarified. Which, no offense Aunt Emma, is what you are. Dad says you've been struggling since the divorce. Stephen and his wife Jennifer sat nearby, not bothering to correct their son. Why would they? They'd been saying the same things behind closed doors, and occasionally to my face, for years. We're doing fine, I said, though fine was relative. The divorce from my investment banker ex-husband had been brutal, the custody battle worse. I'd walked away with my kids and my integrity, but not much else. Fine means poor in adult speak, Marcus informed his younger siblings knowingly. Like when Aunt Emma says she's between jobs, it means unemployed. I'm not unemployed. Right, you're consulting, he made air quotes. Dad says that's what people call it when they can't find real work. My phone buzzed again. This time from Margaret Chin, Whitfield's CFO. Scholarship committee meets at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Your diversity initiative proposal is revolutionary. The point is, Marcus continued, some families prioritize education. They invest in their children's futures. And some families, he looked meaningfully at Lucy and Ben, shop at Target. I like Target, Ben said defensively. He was 8, still young enough to not understand he was being insulted. Of course you do, Marcus's tone dripped condescension. You don't know better. That's what happens when your mom can't afford proper opportunities. Marcus, Jennifer finally spoke, but only to add, don't be rude about it. It's not Aunt Emma's fault she made poor life choices. Like what? I asked, genuinely curious how this narrative would unfold. Marrying David was smart, Stephen explained, joining the conversation with his beer. Divorcing him was stupid. You had access to resources, connections, a lifestyle. You threw it away for what? Pride. Integrity. Can't pay tuition with integrity, he laughed. Look, Emma, we've been patient. You've been finding yourself for 2 years. But Lucy's 11. These are crucial years. If you can't provide proper education, maybe we should discuss alternatives. Alternatives? Temporary guardianship. Just for schooling purposes. We could enroll them at Whitfield, give them chances you can't. You want my children? We want to help your children. There's a difference. Lucy, who'd been quiet until now, finally spoke. We don't need your help. We're happy at Jefferson. Happy doesn't get you into Harvard, Marcus informed her. Whitfield does. But you'd never get in anyway. The application alone is $200. Plus the testing fees, interview prep, recommendations from people who matter. Does your mom even know anyone who matters? My phone lit up with another message. This one from James Morrison, one of Whitfield's most influential board members. Your expansion proposal passed preliminary review. This could change everything. Define people who matter, I said. Successful people. Leaders. Board members at institutions like Whitfield. Not. He gestured vaguely at my entire existence. Whatever this is. This is a family barbecue where you're being unnecessarily cruel to your cousins. I'm being realistic. Someone has to prepare them for life as second-class citizens. Marcus. Jennifer's rebuke was mild. That's harsh. But accurate, Stephen added. Emma, face facts. You're living in a 2-bedroom apartment. Working random consulting gigs. Shopping sales. Your kids deserve better. My kids deserve love, stability, and good values. Values don't open doors. Connections do. And you burned all yours in the divorce. That was partially true. When I'd exposed David's insider trading to the SEC, I'd become persona non grata in certain circles. But other doors had opened, ones Stephen couldn't imagine. Can we see Whitfield? Lucy asked suddenly. The school you keep talking about? Marcus laughed. You can't just see Whitfield. It's not a zoo. You need appointments, connections, reasons to be there. I could arrange a tour, I said casually. How? Stephen scoffed. Going to pretend you're the cleaning lady? I was thinking more official channels. Emma, be realistic. You can't afford the application fee, let alone tuition. Even if by some miracle they accepted Lucy or Ben, the other families would eat them alive. Whitfield isn't just about education, it's about belonging. And we don't belong, Lucy said quietly. Because we're poor. Not poor, Jennifer corrected delicately. Just different economic circumstances. Poor, Marcus repeated firmly. Let's not sugarcoat it. My phone rang. Dr. Whitfield himself. I should take this, I said. Of course you should, Stephen mocked. Probably another consulting client. $20 an hour to file papers. I walked toward the garden, answering on the third ring. Richard, happy 4th. Emma, sorry to bother you during family time, but we have a situation. The Henderson family is threatening to pull their donation if we proceed with your diversity initiative. How much are they threatening to pull? $5 million. And how much did my proposal allocate for need-based scholarships? $15 million over 5 years. Then the math is simple. We lose 5 to gain the ability to offer 15 in opportunities. Board vote is tomorrow. Yes, but Emma, the Hendersons have been Whitfield families for generations. So have the Emersons. 3 generations, in fact. My grandmother, my mother, and me. Of course, I didn't mean. I know what you meant. Send me the Henderson objections. I'll address them tomorrow. I hung up to find Marcus had followed me, curiosity overcoming his disdain. Who was that? Work call. What kind of work? Dad says you're basically a secretary. I help organizations make difficult decisions about resource allocation. So, a secretary who files budgets? Something like that. We walked back to find Stephen holding court about Whitfield's superiority. Legacy admissions are crucial. My son will be 5th generation. That means something. If he gets in, I noted. If. Stephen laughed. Marcus has been groomed for Whitfield since birth. Perfect grades, test scores, recommendations. Plus, I'm golf buddies with half the board. The board can be unpredictable. Not when you know how to work them. I've donated strategically for years. Marcus's admission is guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed at Whitfield. Trust me. What would you know about it? You've probably never even been on campus since Mom forced them to let you graduate. I've been back. For alumni events you can't afford to attend? For other reasons. Emma, stop pretending you have any connection to that world. You're embarrassing yourself. Lucy tugged my sleeve. Mom, can we go? Marcus is being mean again. Not mean, Marcus corrected. Honest. Your mom's too poor for Whitfield. You're too poor for Whitfield. That's just reality. Reality changes, I said quietly. Sometimes faster than you think. Inspirational quotes won't pay tuition, Stephen smirked. Face it, Emma. You failed your kids. The best thing you could do is let us help. Marcus is right. They can't even afford the application. The application is free for families under certain income thresholds, I said. How would you know? Because I wrote that policy. 2 years ago. Unanimously approved by the board. Silence. You wrote. Jennifer started. The needs-blind admission policy. The sliding scale tuition program. The diversity initiative that launches this fall. All mine. That's impossible, Stephen said flatly. Board positions are appointed, not. You don't just write policies. Board members write policies all the time. That's literally part of the job. Board members. Marcus's voice cracked. I pulled up Whitfield's website on my phone, navigating to the board of directors page. There I was, 3rd row center, Emma Emerson Blake, chair, strategic planning committee. That's fake, Stephen grabbed my phone. You photoshopped this. Check the official Whitfield site yourself. He did, fingers shaking. The barbecue had gone quiet, everyone watching Stephen's face cycle through emotions as he confirmed what I'd said. How? One word, strangled. After the divorce, I had time. Started volunteering with Whitfield's community outreach. They needed someone who understood both worlds, privilege and struggle. Turns out, losing everything qualified me perfectly. But board positions are for donors, leaders, people who care about education, who understand that talent exists outside trust funds, who believe every brilliant child deserves opportunity regardless of their parents' bank accounts. You're the board chair, Marcus read from the website. Chair, you run the board meetings. Every month. Tomorrow's is especially important. We're voting on expanding the scholarship program. Full rides for exceptional students from underserved communities. Like us, Ben asked hopefully. Like anyone who qualifies academically, regardless of financial circumstances. This changes nothing, Stephen said desperately. You still can't afford. Board members' children attend free, I interrupted. Another policy I helped write. To ensure diverse perspectives in leadership don't self-select out due to finances. Your kids can go to Whitfield for free? Marcus's worldview was visibly crumbling. If they want to. If they test in. If they choose private over public. I looked at Lucy and Ben. What do you think? Want to see the school? Can we really? Lucy's eyes were wide. I'll give you a personal tour tomorrow. After the board meeting, where I'm proposing we eliminate legacy preferences in favor of merit-based admissions. Eliminate legacy. Stephen went pale. But Marcus, 5 generations. We'll have to compete on equal footing with kids from Jefferson Elementary. Revolutionary, I know. You can't do this. I'll call Dick Whitfield myself. Richard reports to the board. To me, specifically, as chair of strategic planning. I donate. $20,000 annually. Generous, but hardly enough to buy influence. Especially since my diversity initiative brings in $15 million in new funding from progressive donors tired of the old boys club. Marcus found his voice. So Lucy and Ben could go to Whitfield? If they earn it. But I thought, Dad said you were poor. I am, by Whitfield standards. Which is exactly why they needed me on the board. To remind them that intelligence isn't hereditary, that potential exists beyond hedge funds, that maybe, just maybe, the best students aren't always the richest ones. This ruins everything, Marcus said quietly. My whole advantage. Your advantage is good preparation and family support. That's more than most kids get. But yes, you'll have to earn your spot now. No more automatic admissions for having the right last name. You did this on purpose, Jennifer accused. Infiltrated the board to destroy traditions. I joined the board to save Whitfield from becoming irrelevant. Elite schools that don't evolve become museums. We're choosing evolution. By letting in poor kids? By letting in brilliant kids. Income is irrelevant. Potential is everything. My phone buzzed. Dr. Whitfield again. Henderson just called. They're reconsidering. Your argument about tax benefits was compelling. I have to go, I said. Board prep tomorrow. Lucy, Ben, think about whether you'd like that tour. No pressure. Jefferson really is an excellent school. But Whitfield. Lucy looked at Marcus, then back at me. Could I really get in? You're brilliant, kind, and hardworking. That's what should matter. Tomorrow, we vote to make sure it does. We left Stephen's estate in my 10-year-old Honda, Lucy and Ben processing the afternoon's revelations. In the rearview mirror, I saw Stephen frantically typing on his phone, probably rallying his golf buddies for a last-minute resistance. It wouldn't matter. The votes were already secured. Tomorrow, Whitfield Academy would join the 21st century, whether the Stephens of the world liked it or not. Mom, Lucy asked as we drove. Why didn't you tell them sooner? About being on the board. Because they needed to show me who they really were. Marcus learned his attitude somewhere. Now I know exactly what we're fighting against. Are we really poor? By some standards. Rich by others. But tomorrow, at Whitfield, we're making sure that matters less than who you are and what you can achieve. Marcus won't get in automatically. Marcus will get the same chance as everyone else. Equal opportunity, not inherited privilege. He's going to hate that. He's going to learn from it. Or not. His choice. Tomorrow's board meeting would be contentious. Old money versus new ideas. Tradition versus transformation. But I had the votes, the vision, and most importantly, the reminder that every child dismissed as too poor for private school might be the one who changes everything. Even if that child is your own. Especially if that child is your own.